So, have you ever had your best year in business only to find yourself wondering, where is my next job coming from? That is exactly what happened to us. Today, I'm sharing with you what went wrong, what we changed, and why becoming consistent has become one of our biggest priorities in our business.
Hey, I'm Shay Toya. I've spent more than 10 years in construction, working behind the scenes in marketing, hiring, and I've seen how overwhelming it can be to grow a business. That's how we've learned to build a sustainable business using clear systems, strong communication, and intentional recruiting. If you're ready for better hiring, smarter remarketing, and a business that doesn't fall apart when you step away, welcome to Building Better Contractor Businesses.
I personally want to talk about being consistent, not because it's a buzzword, but because it was a lesson that cost us a lot. So if you've been listening to this podcast, I've been super, super honest with you guys. I shared that 2025 was the best year we ever had. And it seemed like 2026 hit very, very slow. It's been a very slow year. And to be completely honest with you guys, we spent the last 7 months working through the toughest seasons that we've had in a very, very long time. Thankfully, honest to say, the last few years, we followed a system called Profit First. So we had savings. And to be completely honest with you, without that, this year would look even worse than what it was, even though it was very, very stressful. But thank goodness that we had savings that helped us out through the tough times. So now we can finally somewhat breathe. Our calendar is finally filling up. The last 7 months, guys, 7 months has been a struggle. But now I can tell you that as our calendar is filling up, our guys are back to work. Our guys are back to working more hours. I never want to be in that position ever again. And here are some of the things that we personally did throughout the process to make sure that never happens ever again. So one of the things that I'm going to tell you guys is that when your business is busy, when your busy is slow, you start hiring. So when your business is busy, you start hiring, you start stepping back to the day-to-day. That is exactly what we did. And unfortunately, some of the people we hired weren't on the same page and things really started to slip. Not because anyone had any bad intentions, but because that consistency wasn't there. Some follow-up stopped. Some relationships weren't being managed like they should. Some of the little things that helped us grow weren't happening anymore. Our business started to slow down. And honestly, 2025 or 2026 really felt like we were starting over. And I'm not sharing this because I want sympathy. I don't want sympathy at all. But I'm sharing it because I know we're not the only contractor who's gone through this. So tip number 1. Guys, never stop business development. Business development is super important. One thing we changed is our business development coordinator has been all in. She's consistently reaching out to clients, following up. That relationship does not end when the project is completed. Got to continue developing that relationship. Checking in with people that we haven't talked to in a while. She gets a notification through our CRM system to continue to follow up even long after the project is completed. Staying in front of people, super important. And I would say this is working for us because we've been going to events, networking events, and they're like, oh, we know you guys because you guys have been in front of us or doing your jobs. And I would say none of this is super fancy. It's just being consistent with the things that matter. Number 2, keep building relationships. I am learning that construction is all about relationships. A lot of these relationships that contractors have, what I'm learning is years of those relationships built maybe 20, 30 years ago. Contractors don't know you. You got to work a little harder. And then you got to keep working harder even when they do know you to continue building that relationship. Every Thursday, Amnesty and I have been going out and today's Thursday and we went out today speaking to, I've talked about on this call about the Dream 100. And the Dream 100 is pretty much a list of 100 people, or 100 companies. And on Thursdays, We're out talking to this list, and we're also out talking to our current customers as well on depending on where they are at in that list. We've brought different things to them as donuts and Starbucks gift cards. We may visit clients. We'll visit general contractors. We'll visit power partners. And these, doing the Dream 100 is a 12-week phase. And it ends up being a phase because the list is so long. It's that constant reach out, that constant 12 reach outs from phone calls to emails to gift drop offs. And to be completely honest with you, we're not walking in asking for work. We're building relationships. And with the general contractors, we've been added to their vendors list so they know who we are. And that's it. And it's consistently building relationships, the people who you want to connect with. Number 3, show up consistently. We've stayed committed to networking. And so that not because of just one event has changed that, but because we showed up consistently. Now because we've been showing up consistently, people are starting to recognize that we are showing up consistently. And it's no longer a cold introduction. We're continuing conversations instead of having to restart them. And I would also say because we've been consistently showing up to these meetings for the last 6 months, I would say this week was actually filled from networking events. We went to the Henderson Chamber Breakfast, which was a great event. And there was a lot of different contractors, a lot of different business owners there. Because we've been attending, it just seemed like people were more open to coming to talk to us. Also, guys, when it comes to attending networking events, make sure you practice your elevator speech. Make sure you're not just trying to pass out your business card to everyone because not everyone is your customer, but just that continue of those conversations. As we've always heard, people do business with people they trust. And that just shows you the power of being consistent. Number 4, don't stop when business gets busy. And I would say throughout the years, this has been one of our hugest hurdles. This is the hurdle that most contractors make as well. Business picks up, they stop networking, they stop reaching out, they stop following up. And I think the role of our business development coordinator that we brought in, her role is so important because that's literally what she does. She's literally following up with people. She's literally building connections with people. And we're also going out to networking events. But to understand, we can't stop networking when business picks up. I remember years ago when it was just Kevin and I and a few technicians, we would be really good at making sure that we were out networking. We would be really good at making sure other things we were connecting with people. We would be really good at following up. We'd be on top of it, but business would get busy and we would stop because we would have to focus on, he would have to go back out to the field and I would have to do more admin stuff. But now we have those people in place that can help us make sure that we are continuing our hard work of building relationships and estimating. And so I would say that has been one of the biggest things that we've done. And so when, that's the biggest mistakes businesses make is that they stop reaching out, they stop following up. And so we're not doing that. Even as our calendar is filling up, we are continuing, keeping to the routine. We're going to continue networking, following up. Also, when it comes to networking, get involved. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. It's not just about attending events, but also get involved. So recently I connected with this girl that I know and I asked, how can I help? And the reason why is because for one, of course, how can you help? But another thing is people do business with people that they trust. And if everyone is attending the events, how can you really stand out from the crowds? And the way you can stand out from the crowd is being someone who helps and who follows through. And also it helps you connect relationships with the people who are involved with bringing people to the events. So these things should never stop. Number 5, learn from your mistakes. So this year has honestly been a restart for us. And I would say it hasn't been easy at all. It's been very difficult. And if we were prideful, we had to do the things that we didn't want to do. And so it was a fully restart. And so sometimes during hard seasons, they can really teach you the lessons you need. And I personally feel like we needed this lesson to take our business to the next level. There was things or people that we had in place that we set our standards were high, but because we weren't there as leaders, we didn't know how to make sure our standards were truly high. Even though I or Kevin were putting certain things in place, doesn't mean that our team was actually following suit. So for us, one of the lessons that we've learned was being consistent. And I wouldn't say that that we weren't not consistent, but we just weren't consistent in the right things. If your business is slow right now, don't wait. No, you are not alone. Pick up the phone, go to a networking event. Networking events to me has also helped me get excited again. Follow up with the old clients. Take donuts to a general contractor. Start building relationships today, because the work you do today is what fills your calendar up months to come. And remember, consistency is not exciting, but it might be the one thing that keeps you from having to start over like us. Let's continue building a better contractor business.
If you believe that this episode brought you real clarity, be sure to share it with another contractor who also needs it. And if you want to keep this conversation going, be sure to join our community of contractors inside Building Better Contractor Businesses Facebook group. This is a community where we talk through the real problems that you are having in your business. The link will be found in our show notes. And remember, we are not just completing projects. We are building better contractor businesses. I will see you next time.